This is a new episode of the Brumakian podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Demetrius, and I'm about to kill Dracula. And as I'm about to kill Dracula, let's not waste any time and just go straight into the plot. So, some earthquakes are causing volcanoes to erupt in Japan, including Mount Fuji, which of course attracted Gamera, who proceeds to dive right into that volcano. Seriously, if you literally looked at that clip, you would literally see that giant turtle dive right in there. Just swan dive his entire body in there. That is one brave turtle right there. Anyway, but that ain't gonna stop some people making a superhighway. Really, not even a volcanic eruption, some earthquakes, and even Gamera himself is not enough to stop the process of building a highway. Japan is efficient, but they should not be that efficient. Never underestimate the working class of a Japanese man. That was my first mistake. And that includes a helicopter getting cut in half by a laser. Wait, what? Oh. Wow, that's unfortunate. Meanwhile, the kid of this movie encounters stranger danger. Like, seriously, upon watching that scene for the first time, I'm thinking, kid, where's your sister? Where's your grandfather? Stranger danger, stranger danger. He did not graduate from there. Oh my goodness. But, unlucky for him, that wasn't the only thing that he encountered. A giant vampire bat comes out of nowhere. No, that's not true. He comes out of a glowing hole. And his roar is sounding like... Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. I think my transmission in my car is acting up by the sounds of it. And of course, due to a child being in danger, Gamera comes to the rescue, not without a con in his arm. And, get this, the kid actually rides on Gamera's shell while in flight toward a carnival. Apparently, Gamera has a taxi service, and his entire body is a literal flying taxi. The future is not going to be happy with that. Well, at least he's not spinning. Wait, why wasn't he spinning? I don't know. Anyway, later on, the kid gives the new monster the name of Gyaos. Because that's exactly what it was saying as it was roaring. And found out that it has a fourth throat. Freddie Mercury, eat your fucking heart out. 24 hours later, Gyaos rises up and attacks Nagoya, snacking on people in the process. Suddenly Gamera! Yeah, all of a sudden, Gamera, boom! Coincidence? I think nay. Gamera and Gyaos fight for the second time, but this time in the air. Finally, the stinking poster is not lying. But, due to him being nocturnal, Gyaos, like Dracula, cannot stand the morning time and books it, losing a toe in the process. One test of science later, it's discovered that because of the ultraviolet rays, the toe shrinks. So they theorize, if we actually let Gyaos stay there under a certain point in time while the sun is coming up, he might die. But the problem is, how in the world can we get that giant bat in one place? Ooh, I know. Let's feed Gyaos with artificial blood, human sacrificial blood, apparently, and have him get so dizzy that he won't be able to move until the daylight comes. It seems to work at first, but damn you shenanigans, it doesn't work. Who in the world saw that coming? I didn't. That was sarcasm, by the way. So, what's next? Oh yeah, this will piss off Mother Nature. The child actually comes up with an idea to set off a forest fire to get Gamera's attention. Because that's exactly what's the best idea in the world. If you don't know what I'm doing right now, I'm literally planting my face. No, planting my hand on my face. I'm like, as I saw that scene take place, I'm saying to myself, excuse me? Do you want Mother Nature to come after you when you're older? And to my surprise, it actually works. Again, damn you shenanigans. Or thank you shenanigans? Huh? That's weird. So the two fight again for the third time, and it ends with Gamera dragging Gyaos in the bottom of Mount Fuji, killing him in the process. And that's the end. Final thoughts after the break. So overall, I actually enjoyed this one. Yeah, it's not that bad as some people might say, but it's more entertaining than the previous. The story, overall, it's basic and simple, but it's easy to understand and follow. The adult characters are written to have them worry about their own lives with the giant monster screwing everything up. I like that dynamic of the story. If only that child would shut up. If only that child would literally go into Lake Biwa and drown in it. And suddenly, Child Protective Services is knocking at my door. I will proceed not to care and worry about it. As for the special effects, they're cheap, but they're convincing at the same time. How the hell did they do that? Let me rephrase that. They look decent enough, not on par with the Toho special effects, but that's a losing battle. The special effects here in their own right, they're decent. Convincing in some shots, but there's certain shots that I found questionable. In particular, some of the parts where you clearly see the wires in some shots. It's not that hard to miss. Gyaos' design is weird and yet unique. What more do I need to say about it? Even on the poster, it's a literal giant flying vampire bat with a flat iron as his head. I kind of like that. You cannot go anywhere without someone referencing this design, and immediately I'll be going like, oh, that's Gyaos. As for Gamera, Again, the body stays the same, but that head literally killed it. Okay, I can understand why you changed it to appeal much more to younger audiences, but why in the world did you make it look dumb? Man, I will never know. I will never know. Personally, the second design of Gamera in the last film, I actually like. That head looks menacing. Probably the best looking Gamera suit up until the 90s. But we'll get to that in future episodes. Now, as far as the music goes, again, just like the story, it's basic and simple. There's no standout moments from the soundtrack or standout tracks from the overall soundtrack, but at least it fits the film perfectly. So overall, in my opinion, Gamera vs. Gyaos is slightly more enjoyable than the previous two. When it wants to have a little fun, I can chuckle a little. When it wants to get me invested in the story, it did that too. Sort of, with some flaws in it that I found really, kind of really aggravating at times. But again, overall, I enjoyed this one, coming in at 70 eaten victims with blood sucked right out of their bodies out of 100. Good for a double rent. Whew. So, that's the original 3 Gamera films. And you know what? Contrary to what people may believe, these first 3 Gamera films, they're not terrible. They at least allow some redeeming quality. Some. Whatever that means. So, if you are interested in watching the original Gamera series, watch The Invincible Giant Monster, Gamera vs. Barugon, and this one. It's worth your time. However, if you don't want to watch the original 3 films and prefer the 90s trilogy, I mean, who wouldn't? That's perfectly fine. I'm not that type of guy who would literally change people's opinions to fit my own. I hate being that person. I used to be that person when I was younger. Now I'm a lot smarter, older, and even fucking tired. Although if I did that right now, I would literally go to my nearest church and cleanse myself with holy water. I would literally say, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Cleanse me with that holy water." And plus, it's the American First Amendment, man. Why in the world would I ever bash the American First Amendment? For those who do not know, the American First Amendment is freedom of speech, religion, etc., etc., etc. So there you go. You know what? It just came to me. It's really a shame in reality, because the way that this movie ended, I said to myself, I feel like this is kind of like the end of an era, an end of a short-lived 3-film career by Gamera. But alas, but alas, but alas, but alas, but alas, but alas. This wasn't. And it continued. But lucky for me and lucky for you, I am not, let me repeat that, I am not going to review the rest of the Showa era Gamera films. In fact, I will sum up those 5 films like this. Gamera vs. Virus, completely unoriginal and filled with stock footage. Gamera vs. Grion, Grion, however you want to pronounce it. That's a tongue twister in itself. It has a unique monster design with a knife for its head. Why does that remind me of something? From a certain movie that I know from 2013. That'll come to me. But other than that, an unoriginal story. Like, really? 2 alien women looking to suck the brains out of 2 children? Like, what? Wait, hold on a second. You want to get knowledge from those children? Why not 2 adults? Those kids are not developed yet. Those kids' minds are not developed yet. Why in the world would you? Never. No. 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 Moving on. Gamera versus Jigger. Or Jagger. Whatever. The more tolerable of the five, but that's not saying much. Seriously, if only that little brat and those two idiot children would shut up. Gamera versus Zigra. Dull and... What? Oh, what's happening? Oh, no. And finally, Gamera's soup. Gamera's soup. That movie from 1980 can suck a dick. Like, seriously, that movie is so bad, it is actually worse than the movie I'll be reviewing in 3 episodes. Yes, it is that bad. And why in the world did that movie get a Blu-ray release? I have no idea. Whoever came up with that movie's premise deserves to be choked alive. Okay. Also, wow, I just basically told you the rest of the show are Gamera films in one single paragraph. Oh boy. That's to show how much the rest of the films change after this one. So, that's it for Gamera. For now. For now. If only we get to see him again. In like almost 30 years. I'm sure he won't return. Oh, who am I kidding? He probably might. Like, he'll grow even more popular than the King of the Monsters himself. Who knows? Speaking of, I just got a call by him yesterday that I had to babysit a little turd of his. I have to babysit the son of Godzilla. Are you kidding me? What in the world did I deserve? I did not deserve this. This is one of the punishments of me going back in time. Well, let's just hope that child is not annoying. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. And yeah, that's basically the next movie that I will be reviewing on my list. The Son of Godzilla. It can't get any more simpler than that. So, until then, folks, this has been Demetrius from Brumakian Productions. Thank you all for watching / listening, if you're actually listening to this like a podcast. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.